Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the very last episode of Millennial and Money. It's not like the very last episode, but for the first season, if I put it that way. Yes, and I'm your host, Queen Kamba, or Blessing Kamba, if you like. Anyways, I'm not here alone. I'm here with three amazing, beautiful-looking, certified bill payers that will be, discussing today's topic with us. And today's topic, if you've not caught on already, is certified bill payer. And as a millennial, if there's one thing we are bill payers. It's not by choice. It's not like we're happy, but we have to do it. So it's very painful. So I think that debit is like Jimmy. However, we have to do it. So I'd love you guys to just introduce yourselves and then we can dive right into it. Right beside me.
The name is Yvonne Uka.
Okay, nice to meet you, Yvonne.
It's a pleasure, darling.
Okay. Hi, I'm Marvin Uzo.
Hi, Marvin.
Odromi Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. So welcome guys. Thank you guys for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for hosting us.
So today's topic is certified bill payer. This topic is heavy on my heart. Maybe because it's the middle of the month and money almost finished. So it's harder. However, we have to keep going. So I just want to ask, as young people, as millennials, how was the transition for you from being somebody that had little or no responsibility to now not just being responsible, but some people even look at you and like, how far? Anything for me? And you're like, me self, I don't finish with me. So how was that transition like for you, Yvonne?
It wasn't easy, to be honest, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We cannot run away from responsibility. We cannot run away from growth. It's part of growth and evolution. Sometimes when I have to actually pay some bills, I'm like, I start thinking about when I was young, those good old days.
I tell you.
When mommy and daddy used to take care of everything, I'm like, oh God, is it a crime? Adulting is hard.
Adulting is
hard. I wouldn't say I was finding it hard. I wasn't finding it hard, but I had a lot of responsibilities, not necessarily family-wise, but I had a lot of things on my plate, a lot of projects at hand, and I had to spend money here and there. And I still had people calling me, like friends, and they're like, in my mind, I'm like, is it because I don't call you people? Is it because I don't? Because
it's because you're yellow. You look like you have money. You look good. So sometimes when you look good, people just assume you are doing good. But you can look good and be doing bad.
That's one very scary thing. Imagine being in a place
understand.
where they are kidnapping people and you're just the one, you're looking fine and you're, she has money, let's take her.
That one is extreme.
I swear, like, kidnapping.
So sometimes it's all part of adulting. I'm sure definitely you've been in such a situation where you don't have and somebody else is asking. So it's actually not easy transitioning from I call it childhood or whatever to adulthood, where you now have to start making some financial decisions on your own, taking some financial responsibilities. It's not easy, but it is what it is. You all have to go through it at the end of the day.
That is true. So I just want to ask you, Marvin, because as a guy, I think it's different. Because as a female, people expect from you, but not as much as a guy. You understand? So I want to know, if you can share your perspective as a guy, because it's hard for girls to be like, I'm scared of being in a relationship because I don't have money. That's when you want to be in a relationship. A second stream of income. So, but as a guy, I've heard this conversation like, can I? So now finances also plays a part in how you move, not just in business or in work life, but also in relationships. So I just want to ask you, how has it been, or how is it as a guy, and how do you navigate through all of that? Because your folks, your friends, and then your babes.
Okay, so the thing is, apart from your own personal needs, because as a guy, you have to set up your apartment. You have to get the new things, the nice things, the latest things as much as you can afford. So that one has already taken a chunk of your income. a bulk of your funds, you get. Then you also have the balling. If your guys are going out, you have to go out with them. You all have to ball out, be it Friday clubs or lounge and all of that. Then the babes, they will always come, and you cannot fall your hand. But apart from that, you get.
Which babes are you talking about?
No, my guys in ball out. What are you talking about?
So these things, and I don't know how the society is actually set up. You just have to keep doing these things because you actually have fun doing them. Because when you go out, they say never regret something that once made you smile. Fine, you might have gone to the club, you might have gone to one lounge or the other, and you spent a couple of thousands, you understand, probably even up to 100. But you might be like, oh, I've spent this money. But deep down, you're like, I had fun, no, forget. We had a nice time, we got this new babe, we corrected this new number, you understand? So that whole vibe, and it keeps on happening, the cycle keeps repeating itself. Then there's also the part of your own personal needs. You can't, okay, now iPhone 13 is out. In a matter of months, your friends will start getting it. You too, you want to get. You won't use this XR or this 11 or this 12 forever. You understand? So all those things will always come up, all those needs will always come up. And the funny aspect of it is, the whole thing with money kind of went from 0 to 100. Because in school, we're collecting probably 50, 60 from parents and we're good. Then NYC, parents' funds, and still the NYC allowance. Then immediately after NYC, the whole thing just went zoom. You don't even know where the money is. By middle of the month, your salary is almost finished. So that's where getting side hustles comes in. If you know that you're the tech guy, you can't just rely on your company. You have to do one or two. If you know you're a social media guru, you can't just rely. So it's just, I don't know if the fact that you know how it was when we're yet to start working, but yet we're still paying for our data. The money will come somehow. Yeah. So that's how it is now. Even though the money is exhausted by the middle of the month, somehow more will come and we'll keep spending, and it's just wow, it's just crazy. But it is what it is, and we just have to keep. You understand?
Yes. So I'd like to ask you, because he mentioned something about multiple streams of income. So, I mean, what's your point of view on multiple streams of income, and how have you implemented that, if you have?
I think in Nigeria, you can't rely on one job because, okay, they are paying you this amount, and maybe when you started working, it was like a sensible amount. Dollar is rising every day. Money, things are getting more expensive. So if you decide, you just want to rely on that one thing, you can't, I don't know how you want to survive. So how have I implemented this?
Do you have a side hustle? Do you have to?
Everything I do is a side hustle.
Okay, so you don't have a main hustle.
I don't have a main hustle.
I think that's why you can afford to have multiple side hustles. Because if you have a main one, like a 9 to 5, that takes I don't mean 9 to 5 where you can leave early. I mean 9 to 5.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
It will
take a bulk of your time.
And time is money.
Exactly.
It's serious money. So now that we have established that money is important, one quick question. I know we were having a little chit chat earlier. How does this affect you emotionally? When you see people balling or you've balled finish and then you are not looking, you are hungry, so you have to look at old pictures of when you were eating food. I remember when you are drinking guy, but you look at pictures of chicken that you ate just to blend it. So how does that affect you? And I just wanted to ask, I just wanted to throw this question in somehow. Love and money, which one?
Money now.
Which one for you? Love, money. That's a money smile.
Who doesn't like money? Who doesn't like money? I'm a lover.
Money ways.
I'm a lover, to be honest. I'm a lover.
You're a lover, but love and money, choose one. Which one comes first?
Money. Money must be me.
Money.
Yeah.
How do you want to love somebody when you don't have money?
Oh.
You didn't hear Davido? Love is sweet, but when money enters, love is sweeter.
So it's a unanimous agreement.
Yes.
Mado.
What do you think? What's your own opinion?
I used to think that love can conquer everything, but based on growth and everything, I've come to know. I've come to know that you have to love yourself before you can love somebody else, and you can't love yourself if you are not doing well for yourself.
True.
And doing well for yourself means that you have to take care of yourself, and you need money.
Exactly.
So that's how money comes first. But love is still very important.
Definitely.
Yeah. So since we've all agreed, unfortunately, I was thinking we'll argue, but I mean, it's important to have your own money, even if it's not. I think the problem sometimes is when people want a lifestyle that they cannot afford, and then you put that burden on somebody else. M.I. said in one of the lines of his song, the way you arrive is the price you're at. So it's important to look good. It's not every time you need to look at how you really are feeling or what you're going through. So sometimes it's good to invest in your look and then work on every other thing. However, if you don't overinvest in the facade and the reality is totally opposite, so how do you balance the lifestyle from the investment and the reality? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So how do you manage that? Because I mean, even when Marvin was speaking, he talked about how it's important to put yourself out there and put yourself in certain situations where you can have good quality time and a better quality of life. But I mean, where do you draw the line? And I think that's where
personally, yeah, something that's always, well, so far has been working for me is I'm always contented. Like, I know, okay, with this money I'm earning, because I have an idea of how much I'll get with the side hustles and everything. I know, okay, this weekend I'll ball, this weekend I'll just sit indoor and probably binge watch one series or the other. The next weekend I'll ball. You understand? I won't go and ball in this weekend. I'm meant to, stay back and relax, because that will actually upset my funds and now put me in that situation of I'm drinking Gary. Exactly.
yes.
You understand? So I always know how to manage. Even if there's something happening, there's a party or there's something, I'll just be like, I can't make it to, or just give them one, one scope and just excuse myself from that. Because the mistake most youths make actually is that they always want to move with the trend.
Yes.
You understand? You should at least try to set your own trend, or at least move with the ones you can catch up with. Because like I mentioned, the iPhone 13 now, it's out. You have no idea how many girls, even guys, are out there plotting, how do I get this iPhone, how do I get it? And even if the money they currently have is meant for one project or the other, they'll go and put it on that iPhone or put it on that happening party. You understand? Thereby setting themselves up for unnecessary depression and all of that. But if you know that, okay, this is where I can reach, or this is my son, let me stay on my iPhone 11 first. You understand? You will know that you're okay. And you balance it and be able to think and strategize and even make more money. But the whole competition, the whole struggle, the whole living up to one expectation or one standard that has been set by a ghost on Instagram is not the way forward.
Yeah. What about you, Yvonne? How have you managed the need to remain, because I feel like sometimes, especially for females, you are supposed to never look bad.
You have to be cut on fresh.
You get it. So how do you manage that? Even when your account is on fresh.
Well, that's why they say planning is necessary. And which will also bring me back to your previous question to him. Trying to balance stuff. You can only balance. We're talking about balancing in your context. Would that also have to deal with, I don't want to say living a fake life, because I wouldn't need to balance what I'm putting out there, what I'm projecting out there, the opinion I'm giving people about myself. Like, it wouldn't be cumbersome for me to try to, last week on Instagram, I did this, I posted this, I was here, okay, I have to, keep that up. If I cannot afford it, I cannot afford it. That is why you have to cut your coat according to your size. That is me. If I don't have, I don't have. At the end of the day, I thank God, I'm able to, I could say, with what I earn, I'm comfortable. And that is also why planning is necessary. You need to plan, because if you don't plan, you're not going to have anything. You need to spend wisely. It doesn't mean you're not going to have fun. For crying out loud, there's a lot of things you can do after planning. There's a way you can still save money and still do the things you want to do. Too much of everything is bad. I would say I'm quite reserved. I'm a private person. I'm not even a party person. My idea of a good time out is a weekend, a weekend at a hotel. You know, just indoor my own time. If you want to watch a movie, you know, order takeout. So it's all about knowing how to do your things. You use your sense sometimes. You don't always have to impress anybody. I mean, you can still do your own thing. You can still, you know, do stuff according to your budget and still impress without even, you know, feeling the need to impress. People are like, wow, I like that girl. Because to be honest, I think it's just stressful trying to, because when you try to impress, you see yourself trying to outdo yourself. I don't find myself in that space where I'm struggling to balance or keep up with something because, you know, I have, I mean, I obviously wasn't always like that. I had to learn.
So I just want to ask, now that I've talked about spending, what's your experience with investing? Because investment is very important, especially now where we have all this devaluation of the naira and basically I think investment is a subtle way of having a second stream of income because it's not like, okay, active payment, but in the long run it's going to still come back to pay you. So I just want to ask, what's your experience been with investment so far? How have you invested? Do you know anyone that's invested and maybe
my first one was actually bad. You guys know of MMM that year. I think that was 2017. Oh Lord, I was part of them. Like, and the worst part is, at the initial stage, it was pain. And you'll be feeling like, oh, I'm very wise. I'm among the wise people in the country. And you now keep adding more. Then that day, I don't even know. It just, you know what bad thing has happened in Nigeria? I think when Abacha died or something, or when Nigeria lost to Brazil or something. So the news just went around that you were like, me, I was like, no, maybe my own is different. Maybe it's those people that invested small, because I knew I had invested, it grew, I put more. So the whole thing just went down the drain. I was like, oh, fuck.
Very depressed.
Yes, but although it didn't get me to a very bad state and all of that, but I knew, okay, the money don't go, waiting we go do. But it was really bad, and that made me not invest again for a very long time, until of recent when I started hearing of this one, of that one, of that. So I was like, okay, let me try it out. Then, speaking of which, like I said, it kind of killed my vibe for investing. Like, I didn't want to invest, I just wanted to save my own thing myself and be wise with my money. But you know that is not possible. Expenses will come, friends will come, outings will come, you understand? And I had to devise a means, because it took me a while, because I had to think of how to manage my funds, because you get money, let's say towards the ending of the month, and by 12th, you're already seeing your account's already red. And I was like, this can't continue. I'll tell myself, no, next month I'll be serious, I'll save. Story. The next one will come. Then we'll go back to square one again. Until, I don't know how I came up with this idea. So, you know, normally when people get their salaries, they're like, oh, it's true, I want to buy that new TV, I want to buy that new phone. But I told myself, okay, instead of doing that, let me just spend normally from the beginning of the month to the middle. Then those expenses, if I'm good enough or smart enough to save well, at the ending of that month, knowing that I'll get my next funds in probably a week or some days, I can now take those, you know, that bulk money and buy those things, or, you know, invest in those major projects. So I think that has been working for me, because sometimes towards the end of the month, I'll be like, why am I even buying this TV? I beg, my Samsung is good, Jai, let me stick to it. And so I think that has worked for me so far, even though I'm still open to knowing more, you know, investment plans and other things like that. But I think so far that has been fine.
That's cool.
How about you?
The thing is, you know, sometimes when we're just talking about investments, it's not just only about investment schemes. You know, there are other ways.
That is not even so a legitimate invest.
It's not. There are so many other legit ways of investing your money. It's not all about, you know, when you talk about investments, it's not just those illegal
Ponzi schemes of put one gets 10.
Exactly. Oh, bring 6,000 the other time. Now, when I don't know how. I'm sure they're actually gullible people.
So I mean, I think we've all established that these Ponzi schemes don't make any sense. Please say no to Ponzi, you people. Hey, if they come at me, it's for your own good. Hey, no, we'll drop one, take 25. I don't know. I can't understand. Never have, never will.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling never. So I mean, we're rounding up. I'm really grateful to each and every one of you for sharing your point of view. But just a closing statement. If you could tell if you had a message for you, a 10-year-old version, 10 years younger version of yourself now, about money, about savings, what would you say? So let's just use that one to wrap it up.
Okay, a 10-year
younger version of yourself.
Younger version of myself.
Yeah.
I'd actually tell him to work harder. You know why? Most of the things I do now, or basically the things that fetches me income now, I discovered them about 5 years ago, or even less. Yeah, give or take. Because then that's a story for another day, but then I was in the I was studying accounting. I thought I'll come out and probably work in a bank or a financial institution. If I had known that I would end up in the media, or in the media space, I would have been doing that way back from then. And the aim of this is to get more, because we're all saying we want to save, we want to invest. But at the end of the day, the biggest solution to all these money issues is to make more money. Because if you make more money or enough money, you have enough to spend and to still save. So if I had been doing all these media runs I'm doing now that are bringing me, stuff, if I'd started them way back or way earlier, I would have at least been way ahead.
You studied finance and accounting and you can't save money.
That's the same thing.
No wonder he didn't make it. He didn't make it in that way. He clearly did not make it. Yeah. How about you?
Oh, I'm just going to tell myself, save. Do not procrastinate. When you can work hard, go for that paper, chase that paper. It is never too early to chase paper.
Don't go to that
you can, the earlier the better.
Yeah. Don't rent that condo.
Exactly. Don't rent that condo. Think about tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's better to suffer now and enjoy later than enjoy now and suffer later. Invest. I'm happy I haven't had any problems with investing, but still, I'll tell myself to invest even earlier, because if I had started investing earlier, I guess I know I would have, the returns I would have had by now would definitely be more than what I can say I have now. Invest, be in whatever you can afford to invest in, whether it's gold, whether in e-commerce, because e-commerce is another very, very functioning investment platform. Yes, right now you have startup companies from America, China, legit companies that are starting on the internet. You have like Amazon, for example. You see them telling you to you support them with you become a stakeholder or shareholder, and then you start getting returns for life. The more returns the company gets, the more you get. So things like that, that's an investment. That's a very, very good investment. So I'll tell myself, keep investing, keep your eyes on the price. Don't let anything pull you, down. Respect money, because to be honest, that's true. Respect money so that you wouldn't be disrespected in the future.
Money will not disrespect you.
I'm telling you, you have to respect.
But money can disgrace you.
I'm serious. So you have to respect. That's it. That's it.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Thank you. For me, what would I tell myself? I'll tell myself, don't worry too much, because there's some things you can't control. If you think, and sometimes you think you've planned everything,
right? And
the whole plan will scatter. It will just, because he said, he didn't think he was going to be in media right now. So imagine if he had built his mind and just written him you probably would not have done well if you did not have a mind flexible enough to accept, let me try something else. Yeah. So sometimes it's okay to just take a break, a deep breath, and say, this is what I have right now, and I'm going to make the best out of it. I think that will help people in each and every way.
Yeah.
So we have come to the end of today's episode. I'm a certified bill payer, and I'll just want to ask you guys to just drop your socials, like your IG handle, YouTube, everything. Just tell them so that people can come follow you. I'll start with you.
Okay. So on Instagram, I'm not very active. Well, I'm trying. I'm trying. Exactly. My Instagram handle is at Yvonne_Uka. That's at YVONNE_UKA. And I have a YouTube channel called Yvonne Infinitely.
Okay.
Yeah, Yvonne Infinitely. So that's it. You can follow me on both. Subscribe to my channel.
Yeah.
My Instagram and Twitter handles are Marvin Plim. MarvinPlim. No underscore.
Okay.
Marvin Plim.
Okay.
My Instagram is try Rachel. Try. YouTube, try Rachel.
Okay.
It's cool.
And I am your host, Queen Kamba, and my IG handle, of course, is Queen_Kamba1, Queen_KAMBA. Thank you guys so much for staying with us. If you've not seen the previous episodes, please just check them out. I assure you they are interesting, and I really appreciate your energy. God bless you guys. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next episode of Millennial and Money. Bye.